There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
I can't hear you. Can you guys hear me?
I got you. Now, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I told you when everything crashed in the studio, I guess it went and hit the button on my board, and I didn't realize I was muted the whole time. So what I was saying was, it's all my fault. Frankie Fresco wasn't there at the beginning. I hung him out to dry. I am Sean Stanley. He is the great IGR Mixmaster 2024 champion, Frankie Fresco.
I like to change this.
Fresco.
What's going on, sir?
What's up, my man? Hey, good week of wrestling, right?
Yeah, we had some.
There's a lot to discuss, though. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, there's not. I don't know. Where do you want to just? You want to kind of go with the chronological order like we normally do? We'll talk a little bit of. I mean, the Dynamite was okay, but I didn't think anything happened really until Friday. I think the SmackDown was more noteworthy. It was a good Dynamite leading into the and then Friday you had Collision as well, which again, these damn all-star 8-man tag team matches. Both networks had an 8-man main event. The one on AEW was all their champions basically the night before pay-per-view, just beating the crap out of each other. And then of course, on WWE, it was the Bloodline against DIY and the Street Profits, which, well, it was what it was. It was not as entertaining. You know what? I did not see the numbers for Rampage.
I'm pretty sure they weren't good. Pretty sure they weren't that good.
So SmackDown, the final episode on, again, this is where I was saying, like, what's going to be interesting is, so AEW ran head-to-head on Collision, and they had 157,000 views.
Oh, wow.
Let me make sure I read that right. I don't know if that's accurate. Hold on. That doesn't seem right. That seems very low. No?
For Rampage?
On a Friday, though?
Or for Collision?
Sorry, Rampage did 233. Still low. Oh man. And although SmackDown was down as well. Oh, I meant Collision. I'm sorry. So Collision did 157. Rampage beat Collision.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So Collision did 157. Rampage did 233.
I'm not gonna lie, you. I didn't watch Collision or Rampage.
I had it on there, and SmackDown was down to 1.7 also. But you have to remember, there was an NFL game and there was college games this Friday. So
I was watching the NFL game.
It was all taking a hit. I mean, the NFL and college football is king when it comes to all things that happen on this. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. The takeaways that I got from SmackDown was I found it interesting that all of a sudden now Solo gets his championship match and it's going to be on SmackDown.
Ah, yes. That's a good point. Yes.
Like I was like, because I thought that was going to be the Bad Blood main event. Honestly, I thought that was easy penciled in. And again, maybe they do something to where they run it back at Bad Blood or whatever. But if Cody wrestles Solo on SmackDown, who does he fight at Bad Blood?
Maybe Randy Orton if he turns on him.
I mean, he'd have to turn on him. Well, you got till October 5th, I guess. You could have a little bit of a thing going there, and then
Jacob Fatu. Maybe he fights Jacob Fatu because on SmackDown
it was teased. He said, "I want to fight you, Jacob Fatu," and then Jacob Fatu got up on the apron, and Solo kind of looked at him. And what's interesting is, like, and I know some people on X have said this now too, is that Jacob Fatu gets the same looks at Solo that Solo got at Roman, but in different ways because Jacob Fatu's character is a little different. But overall, it's the same thing, right? There's still that thing like, where is he going to pull the plug on Solo? Because you could see it coming. I mean, I feel like it's coming at some point. But then I look around and I say, okay, you got the Bloodline Civil War, which again, this is me fantasy booking, however you want to look at it. That gets to Survivor Series. And if that's the case, then what do you got? Solo, Tongaloa, Tamatonga, and somebody else against Jacob Fatu, Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and somebody else? I mean, the Bloodline other than Jacob Fatu looks pretty weak. The 2.0. Sorry.
Yeah, I think they've always looked pretty weak, man. I was never a fan of the Bloodline. After Roman kind of like took him out for a while. I know that eventually Jacob Fatu came back, and then they kind of went and they took out Roman, but I've kind of lost interest on the 2.0.
They had me up till Roman debuted. when Roman came in and just really beat him down. I mean, of course, a couple weeks ago they got one over on him, but it was just like I was like, okay, Roman comes back, and then all of a sudden they're weak. I felt like they were building it back up good with everything they were doing with Solo. They're making him look strong. They're building him up, and then it was almost like we did all that so that Roman could come and just bam, knock him down.
Yeah, again, I lost interest on the bloodline when Roman kind of took him out, and I think that's what also happened with Judgment Day, and I think that's been one of my biggest, issues with WWE recently, that they've kind of like destroyed two of their biggest heel groups in a matter of just a week or two. And that's it. You took out the Judgment Day, and I think they're trying to rebound with them, and now it kind of seems kind of, I don't know. I don't feel like it's such a great matchup right now between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. They're pushing for it. I mean,
Yeah.
we could go and talk about it a little bit more in a minute, but I just don't see
No,
it.
I agree with you on all that, man. It's like, okay, so I get it. They get the numbers, and then they beat them down. But every time they've had to make that impact, it's failed, and not failed like just Liv and Dominic against. I could understand that match and it going that way. The whole Judgment Day tried to get involved, and still didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the whole thing, as you're saying, the bloodline with Roman. They do have kind of going along the same routes. Seems like a little bit there, but I do feel the bloodline could rebound better than the Judgment Day, because I just don't think anybody in the Judgment Day other than Finn
Has a shot.
I believe in. I mean, Dominic. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Dominic's going to be I don't mean, but I mean, like, as far as like leading it, it's like, okay, it's Finn, and then what?
Well, I mean, they tried to
It's not gonna be
save him.
Carlito. It's not going to be, JD McDonough, unless somebody, and again, maybe it's somebody that we don't even know or don't think of, and then boom, they pop in, and it changes everything. But right now, I just, like you said, I don't believe in them. Nothing you can do right now changes me to believe that they can take out the Terror Twins.
The thing is, they helped Finn Balor last night with Finn beating Rey Mysterio Jr. and kind of knocking him out here and there a little bit, but it just, I don't know. You get another scenario again where they attack Damian Priest because Damian Priest gets called out by Finn Balor, and then they all freak out when they hear Rhea Ripley's music play, and I don't know why. They all of a sudden stare. They're like, "Oh my god!" And then you see Dominic
Comes
Mysterio
down
come
with
out.
a crutch. Dooga.
Yeah, they all stop for like a split second. They're like all freaking out. I'm like, why are you freaking out? Because it's Rhea Ripley, and number two, she's halfway with a messed up foot or a
Yeah.
messed up ankle, or I'm sorry, a messed up knee.
Knee.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know where you got Jey Uso coming with a chair.
Yeah, but it took him forever to, like, I don't understand. And that's another thing, man. I said the same thing the other time when they were doing the whole thing when they were doing the MJF beating up on, I think, Kyle Fletcher. And it's like,
Yeah, I remember.
how long are these backstage areas? Like, I get that, you let them beat down a little bit, but they had worn them out. And then you come out to save them?
I don't know, man. It was it did seem like he took a while before he actually showed up and helped them out. But again, it just loses interest. I've lost interest when it comes to the Judgment Day, and then with the Bloodline, I think it's kind of been kind of whack. I don't think it's worth it anymore. I just wanted to get over with. I want to see where they go with this, and I don't know. Maybe we'll get something now that SmackDown is on USA Network. Yeah.
I mean, but usually you'll get a couple surprises, but Raw technically has always been on USA. I know tonight on NXT there's a couple surprises.
Yes.
And then I know Friday there might be a surprise, but the surprise would be Roman. Not that it's like and then again, do they
Bring
bring
the
back
Rock.
The Rock to do something, And that's the whole thing, like they almost have to bring the Rock and put him back in order to make this, to me, to save this incarnation of the bloodline. The Rock's got to come back in and be like, Solo, you're letting me down. You're supposed to do this, and this. Nothing's done. Or something like that, to where it's like, oh, okay, so he's going under, at least just to make storyline wise. I mean,
Or bring Jimmy back. We haven't seen him.
well, I think he'll be back. I mean, I know Rikishi said he's good, he's ready to go, he's waiting, so maybe we're just waiting for the right time. And still, you have Hikuleo is under contract. He hasn't came out yet. Zilla Fatu is, I believe, any day now probably going to get signed. I know he's been working with Booker T and his wrestling there. He did the Hog wrestling, House of Glory. He's actually a champion there now. So, I mean, there's a lot of areas that they can go a long ways for this stuff, man. We still haven't seen Paul Heyman come back. Doesn't
another
come
one.
back. I mean, like, there's other things there. How do they if again, big if it is Sammy and Jay, how do they orchestrate all of that?
Well, no,
SmackDown and Raw and all this stuff. So
why are they being so hesitant in bringing back Paul Heyman? Do you know the logic behind this? Like, why? Like, I would have assumed they would have already brought out Paul Heyman.
yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of is he is the wise man for Roman Reigns. He's not the wise man for the bloodline. He's the wise man for Roman Reigns. So maybe that's the whole part here. I don't. Maybe he becomes the voice of reason for Roman, because Roman's like, I'm going to do all this on my own, and Paul Heyman starts being like, you can't do this on your own. It's 3-on, 4-on-1, or whatever it's going to be, and then you start seeing again, and I think I sent you the tweet that like somebody did an AI thing of the whole rundown of like how it could play out, and I thought it was interesting to where could you see, again, Paul Heyman doesn't show up on SmackDown. You see Paul Heyman walking around the locker room of Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's trying to recruit Sammy, trying to recruit Jay to come back to be that member. Because again, remember, the big pay-per-views, the brands are together. So it could make sense to where they, at Survivor Series or whatever. The interesting part to me now too is you're talking 2 months away. You're talking 8 weeks. I think there's 2 pay-per-views actually in the middle of that, because there's a Crown Jewel, I believe, which I forgot all about, honestly. But apparently there's a Crown Jewel in there. So, I mean, what do you do with Cody and we talk Randy Orton and all that, but how quickly do you do that?
I mean, I think what they could do on SmackDown, because they're doing it on a steel cage match. I think it's Cody versus Roman. I'm saying Cody versus Solo
On SmackDown, yes.
And it's on a cage. I think the only way you can make it happen is maybe there isn't like a clear cut winner. Some way, somehow, there's like some interference, and I don't know. Maybe they're able to like put it to a way where they could spin it again and they could have another match at No Mercy. That's the only thing I could think of.
I kind of feel like Jacob Fatu is going to do the Umaga the way Umaga did it. I don't know if you ever seen that spot. I think it was Bobby Lashley and Umaga were in a steel cage.
Okay.
And Umaga just does his that back thing that he does in the corner.
Okay.
When he runs, he just you're laying in the corner and it's the big butt thing. He does that into the cage, and the cage door, or not the cage door, the whole side of the cage lets go and falls down. Actually, no, I think it's the other way around. Bobby Lashley went and Umaga was on it. So then Umaga gets hit, goes underneath the cage, and wins the match.
I don't remember seeing that. So
But what they could do is the other way around. Boom, he hits Cody. The cage gives way, which goes to the floor, and then Cody could roll off the cage and pick up the win.
so you're thinking that that's what's gonna happen possibly on
I think it's
Friday?
going to be some kind of look. If you do a clear cut winner, you can't run it back.
You can't run it
I
back.
mean, and you're not giving the belt to Solo on a SmackDown. I wouldn't think so. Cody, I believe,
Has to win.
wins this somehow. I don't know, by hook or crook. By the bloodline starts fighting each other inside the cage or something, and he just crawls out.
I don't know.
That's the thing that's interesting because, as you said, like I don't think it can be a clear cut. It can't be 3 crossroads and he pins Solo in the middle of the cage by himself. Like that's it. It's done.
Yeah, I think they need to do something. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Now, let me ask you this: is SmackDown this Friday? Is it 3 hours? Because I heard that they were going to 3 hours.
No, I think they put a mistake on it because I think somebody's just kind of photoshopped the Raw times because Raw is actually going to 2 hours now, starting October 6th. They're going 8 to 10 as well. So I think that's going to be good for Raw, man.
But did you hear
be
why?
a better show when it's more compact.
Did you hear why it went to 2 hours?
No.
So it wasn't a WWE reason. The reason it went to 2 hours was because of USA. So USA actually informed them that they wanted the show to go down to 2 hours, especially because the third hour they typically tend to lose a lot of the audience.
Down, yeah.
So they were like, we want you guys to just run a 2-hour show. And since the WWE I guess they took like a lesser pay to be able to broadcast Monday Night Raw on the USA Network until they make the move to Netflix. I guess they're honoring and just going with what USA that requested.
I think it's going to help them, man. I honestly think it'll be a better show 2 hours than.
Will it be a better show?
I think with everything, instead of spreading it out over 3 hours, you got everything into 2. It'll definitely be more hard hitting.
What about your wrestlers? Are you going to be able to showcase all your wrestlers?
The things you're probably gonna end up losing most of those like talking segments, like the one with Drew. Like think about yesterday, you had Brett and Gunther and Sammy, you had Drew with Adam Pearce. I mean, you have a lot of time.
You had Braun Breaker with each one of them.
Yeah,
on the Fatal 4 who was competing.
So you just cut some of that out. You can still have here and there, but just for most of it, just kind of get rid of that stuff.
I'm intrigued to see how that works because
the thing too is they could start a template or a format of how they want to run Netflix. Now the only difference is going to be on Netflix, there's no commercials.
No,
it's going to be 2 straight hours. It's going to be like a live show. You go for 2 hours straight, and then that's going to be interesting because I think what they're going to end up doing is you're going to see the backstage segments be your commercials.
Were you a little bit
more interviews and stuff?
Were you a little bit surprised that they were kind of like they didn't do that much? I guess like much of like I saw they did a little bit of it of like WWE being on Fox, but they didn't like go hardcore like the whole actual episode, like kind of reminiscing. Hey, these were the spots in Fox. Hey, this was
they just did like a 3-minute video or 2-minute video.
Were you a little bit surprised that they did that?
Because I think look, the report that came out and we were talking about it in a little bit is AEW may have a show going to the Fox family.
Yes, this is insane.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to Fox. I think it's going to FS1, but it's going to the Fox family and Tubi and things like that. It appears that might be the way it goes.
Yeah, I heard about that. We could talk about that in a minute. I'm a little bit surprised about that, actually.
I'm not, because once the station gets wrestling, it's content every week. It's episodic TV for you. It's always there. I just don't think they give AEW Fox. That's going to be interesting to see.
Here's the thing. The reason I think it's shocking is because AEW numbers have not been the best in the last couple of months. And number 2, are they really going to show AEW, let's say on Fox, even on Fox and FS1, with all the stuff we've been seeing the last couple of shows.
Oh, that's the thing. I mean, and again, we're gonna dive into that.
We'll talk
here
into that because
in a little bit, but I mean, it's gonna be a different program, I believe.
That's what
I
scares me.
believe. Again, that's again. Remember, Fox is the one that cuts the holy shit chance, everything else. How's an AEW show gonna sound?
Yeah.
It's gonna have no audio, no audio the whole show.
And I heard it isn't going to be Collision. It isn't going to be Dynamite.
No,
It's going
to be called supposedly Shockwave.
Shockwave, yeah.
Which again, to me, if you're doing the Shockwave, that's the show Shane McMahon shows up on. Shockwave.
Yeah. But how successful is that? We'll talk about it a little bit more. But anything else that happened on Friday that you can remember? I'm trying to remember what happened on Friday.
I mean, they did the Nia thing again with Tiffany. I didn't like the fact that Tiffany lost.
Right.
Per se. But I mean, I understand the way it's going now, but ultimately Tiffany's going to end up cashing in, I think, on Nia is the way that's going to end up playing out. It feels like that's the way they're going there. Other than that, I mean, again, it was a pretty simple SmackDown. It wasn't anything.
Yeah, it was straightforward.
Earth-shattering. It was no. I think the most earth-shattering thing was at the beginning with Cody, and then challenging kind of Solo challenging him challenging Jacob Fatu, and then finally it's settling to where it'll be them two in a cage match on SmackDown next week. That's, I think, the most shocking thing, because it was like, really? That's what we're doing? We're giving it to you for free? A steel cage match on SmackDown?
AEW vibes, baby.
Yeah, buddy, it was.
Vibes.
Nick Aldis got hit in the head one too many times, buddy.
He said,
and then looking at the Monday night show, Jey Uso, Braun Breaker now set up. Did they announce when that match will happen?
I'm assuming it should happen in No Mercy.
Bad Blood.
I'm sorry, that Bad Blood is the next one, right?
Yeah.
No, I keep saying No Mercy because of NXT. Bad Blood, yes. I'm assuming
it makes sense. That's Breaker's hometown. But the thing too is this though. Do you have Jey Uso lose to him?
Jey Uso is riding high, yes.
On a pay-per-view. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if you have him wrestle on a Raw, you can fudge something. You can come out and cheat Jey Uso. I don't know that you can cheat Jey Uso at a pay-per-view.
You could cheat Jey Uso.
You could, but you're probably going to use that for your other finishes. You're going to do that during the IC title match? You've got a Hell in a Cell match already. You're going to have Gunther against Sami Zayn ultimately. You're going to have Cody against somebody, I got to believe. So, I mean, do you use the gimmick finish in that match?
So going back to Monday night, right? So I like the fact that they did the spot where Braun Breaker was being showcased with every single one of the competitors who was in that Fatal 4. That was interesting. That was really good. I think that was the best part of Monday night, because he had the interaction with Braun Strowman, the interaction with Ilya Dragunov.
Yes.
Obviously Jey Uso won. So it was really good. I like that about that on Monday. That was the best moment.
Storytelling inside the storytelling.
Yeah, and not only that, but it also creates buzz in the fact that, hey, even though Jey Uso won, I'm intrigued to see Braun Strowman in the near future versus Braun Breaker.
And holy cow, let me tell you something though. That spot that they did to eliminate Braun Strowman from the match.
Yeah, when Bronson Reed came in, that was a little bit
right off the thing, like the camera angles were good on that, where you didn't see him, but you knew he was there, and then when he turned around, they did the camera angle, and it was him up there. Bah.
Yeah, and it got a dramatic effect. I can tell you that much. And
I knew something was going to happen. I knew Reed was taken out. This is the way I looked at that match. I said, okay, Reed can take out Strowman.
Yes.
Right. And then it was, I honestly said, okay, Sheamus will take out Dunn, was my thinking. And then it comes down to Dragunov and Jey Uso, which actually that didn't happen. Sheamus never showed up. Bronson did take out Strowman, But that finish was fantastic. I thought that match was great. I mean, it did what it did. It was a very hard hitting contest. It had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, man. I'm really, really liking Pete Dunne. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Pete Dunne is really, really shining right here. I like and right now, I will go on paper to say that he is the new Dominic Mysterio. That guy is wrestling everywhere, and he's wrestling on NXT, he's wrestling on SmackDown, he's wrestling on Raw. That guy is going everywhere.
He's just wrestling everywhere, buddy.
So props to him, because I think he kind of took the same concept as Dominic Mysterio and said, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it 100%. And it worked for Dom. I'm pretty sure it's gonna work for me, and it has.
Like Butch and be Pete Dunne, baby.
Yeah, I really like Pete Dunne right now. And like I said, I don't know how he's doing today against Trick Williams, but
I'm sure he's not winning that match. But hey, it is what it is, bro. Like that's what he goes to NXT to put over the Trick Williams right now. He makes his name. He puts on a great match last night on Raw.
I want him to beat Trick Williams.
NXT. Now, again, they could do that. I'm not saying they won't, but either way, it's a win. As long as Trick looks good against him, which normally he does, that's not a lose-lose either way you go with it.
No, because I remember
Pete Dunne, that helps him elevate. If he has a great match with Pete Dunne, you just watched Pete Dunne have a great match with, Jey Uso, Dragunov, Braun Strowman, like on Raw the night before.
Yeah, I could understand Pete Dunne not winning on Raw, but I don't see why he couldn't win in NXT. Like I think you reward him by beating Trick Williams and then having him go 1-on-1 against Ethan Page. Because I don't think Trick Williams, at the end of the day, the winner of Pete Dunne versus Trick Williams gets Ethan Page for the belt. Yeah. But I don't think Trick needs the belt. But again,
it doesn't. But that's kind of the problem with NXT to me, is that not that they're top heavy, but there's only a handful of guys that would be the face.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Wyatt 6, what'd you think of that? I hope it's over. That's all I gotta say about the damn thing.
Look. Okay. So
Collected tells me finito.
All right, so I'll give you this. I like the fact that it was the very first match of, Raw. They were trying to go with a bang, so I like that. I like that it was a street fight. I really, really was impressed with Nikki Cross. Man, did she stole the show for the Wyatt 6. I liked her. I think she's going to do a hell of a job. I think that's going to help her character.
Let me ask you one thing real quick. Just real quick, while you talk about Nikki Cross. Does it feel to you like they are each time kind of singling out one to stand out each match? Like one time it was Loomis, then it was Rowan. Not necessarily like stand out like where they get everything, but they shine more than the others on purpose in a way, it feels like.
I don't think they did that in this street fight, because I think Rowan got a really good pop too. Yes. So, I mean, but if you look at Joe Gacy and Dexter Loomis, they kind of did fall behind in this match. They kind of were like the two that kind of didn't stand out as much as Rowan and Nikki Cross. I was just surprised that Bo Dallas got involved at the end. Like I saw he was sitting the whole time, watching them, and then he gets involved, and I thought it was 4-on-4, but if Bo Dallas comes in, it would have been 5-on-4. So like, what's going on here? I was a little bit surprised.
It's a street fight, anything goes. Maybe that's them showing they'll do whatever they have to do to win. Although the one Sister Abigail had he just went in and did the move to do the move in a way, because didn't figure into the win.
Yeah, and the other thing too was that they did like a whole recap of how they got to this point. And like you said, I hope this finally ends the story, because they really did do like a whole summary of everything. And then,
I mean, how many times can Chad Gable lose?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I get it.
I mean, again, if you would have pinned one Creed brother one time, the other Creed brother another time, and then now you pin Chad Gable this time, I could say, hey, you know what? They might be able to, but you beat Chad Gable every time. I don't know what else you got to prove here.
I mean, you've beaten him so much that it's
Yeah.
pointless. I will say this though. We haven't spoken about this, but what was your take of the new commentator that they have?
Oh,
Because
Joe
he's
Tessitore? I like him.
yeah.
I like him.
Have you noticed that they're doing those spots a little bit more where both of them are talking and they're like in the ring instead of sitting in the
Yeah.
commentator area? Is that something they're gonna keep doing with these two? With Joe Tessitore and
I think you're gonna get that because that used to be kind of the live show. The way they did Raw was it would start in the ring. Like even during the Attitude Era, it kind of started there because then the focal point goes to the ring instead of going to the commentator desk. Because then they ultimately moved the commentator desk way up by the entrance ramp.
yes.
So then it was like, there's your first shot. And I think what they're trying to do is just to make the first shot of what you see be them in the ring.
I'm not liking that right now, to be honest with you. I just I don't know. Maybe I don't mind Joe Tessitore as the commentary. I'm gonna have to get used to him.
Oh no, he's got to work on it a little bit. But he's a huge WWE fan, so he knows the product and he understands, it's going to take him a little bit of time to figure out where to, because there's a couple times where he does a lot of the like the big stuff good, but there also it seems like he puts emphasis on certain things where it's like, that really didn't need to be emphasized as much as what you did. But it's going to be a learning process. But
Well, he was really big
he
in college football, right? Because
he
that's
is
where he
so
stood out.
good at drawing the picture. And then if you throw Wade Barrett in there to paint it in, color commentary, I believe ultimately you're going to get a good team here. And then you have to remember when Raw goes to Netflix, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's Cole and McAfee going to be going to Netflix. So I think you're going to get Corey Graves, Tessitore, and I keep wanting to say damn it, Barrett. You'll get Barrett on the commentary on SmackDown on Raw on USA.
Okay. So they're
Because
gonna go through a
Tessitore's still
3-man
doing
group?
football. He's still doing football, so
I miss Pat McAfee. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, McAfee's like Tessitore is. He's just got to go in and do. The problem with McAfee doing it is, one, his show is at whatever's usually a Friday. The show's wherever they're doing the game day the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he's got to do all of that, and now
Yeah.
it
His
just
schedule
becomes
is
too much during
ridiculous.
this season because
Yeah.
on that show you have to be prepared for at least to talk about almost every game because they do discuss pretty much every game. It's not like,
Yeah. His
and
schedule
again,
is
I know they got producers and they can write little things for him, but also McAfee's not the guy that I think he likes coming up with different things and being different to where he wants to know, just like in wrestling, he wants that shock value, but he also wants the shock value to mean something. It's not just him being an idiot and just, cannonballing off a boat or whatever.
yeah.
It's saying something that's like, whatever, like with Saban the other day. What was the first week when he came in? He's like, I forgot what they said. Like, oh, you can't buy or something like that. And Saban's like, not with that much money or whatever. He's like, no, it costs a lot more than that.
It was funny because
Alabama's
they were showing on on X a couple of the like you would see Pat McAfee. I think he was like dancing or something. He looked kind of drunk a little bit, and
no, not that.
and then Nick Saban looked like what the hell did I just sign up?
Yeah. I'm like, why are they sitting me next to this damn guy? And
Yeah,
then if you look to the next side, it's Lee Corso sitting there like,
yeah, it's a little bit rough because I mean I will say this, and we know we're going a little bit off topic here, but I think it's time for Lee Corso to retire. It's just
they have him do that final segment with the headgear right now, and that's all you need to do. And honestly, you could pre-record that. You could go to a room and have it, and then be like, "Let's sit at the coach on his pick," and then you could do whatever. You don't have to bring him out live on it.
yeah, because when you hear him speak now,
Yeah.
he is a little bit rough. It reminds me of JR. Like when you're looking at them and you're like, man, these guys are in an age where they
Dude,
shouldn't
JR
be
put
doing
me in
this
my
anymore.
place though, bro. JR put me in my place. He's like, yeah,
No.
I'm fucking old. You're damn right, I'm old. Like, but it's like, I guess it's because I remember when he was wearing the toga at WrestleMania 9 when Hogan beat Yokozuna. Like, that was his first WWE show from WCW days, man. Like, and then to just, you grow up with it, and it's like, I love hearing his voice on those things, but it just doesn't, he's got his couple things that hit still, like, oh yeah, there's JR. But then there's a lot that's just kind of like, it's nostalgia. I love the fact that he's still doing it and he can still do it, but I just feel like it's not the level of what it was. But as he said, you're damn right, I'm old. I'm old.
Well, and
Put me in my spot.
and then let me ask you this. Now that we spoke about it, if the whole storyline between Chad Gable and the White Six is over, where do they go with the White Six?
I'm hoping it's the Final Testament, but I want them to build up the Final Testament more than what they have either. Because I saw Paul Ellering put out a thing, and he was like wearing, like the face paint, and like he's like holding up a staff and doing all like I want to see that. Like, I want to see a kick-ass Final Testament, and then you could put them a White Six. Coming off of what happened with the New Day, I mean, the whole thing with Odyssey Jones ruined that. I mean,
Yeah.
Whatever you had planned there just goes out the window. So if I'm Triple H and them, just have Final Testament destroy New Day, and then have the Wyatt Six come out and surround them.
Okay.
Because when you look at it, what else? Where else? What Judgment Day?
Well, the thing about the White Six is, who else can they go after right now that would make sense? But everybody's booked right now.
Yep.
Literally, everybody's booked.
Yep. You
So
look around, it's everybody's. The only one that's not is New Day, Final Testament, because that got ruined because of the whole thing. So you got those two. If you want to look at groups, so now you got more than one person involved, or do they break off and go after different people?
I don't know. And where does this leave Chad Gable? Is he gonna go back and fight against Otis and all them? Is that his route again? Like it
He
feels
almost
like
has to build back up his confidence, right? I mean, you failed here, buddy. American Made just is a failure.
American Made does look like a big failure right now. It does not look like it's living up to his expectation.
Not at all. Not at all.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else WWE related?
The Judgment Day, the whole Finn Balor coming in and calling out Damian Priest, and then having that attack, and then the Jey Uso coming in and saving them. That one, and now we have a fight. Obviously, we got now at Bad Blood. We got officially now we got Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, right? That's one.
Yep.
And then we also got Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Do you feel that those matches are well worth to that they hold value, and that people are going to be interested in at Bad Blood?
I think they do, for the fact that Damian Priest is in it and Rhea Ripley's in it. I don't know if it holds any other value other than that. I mean, at this point, unless they do good build for the next 3 weeks to where, again, they did good last night by having Finn look strong and kind of snapping a little bit, holding on to the hold, and just, that's what you need. That's the heel stuff you need from the Judgment Day. Like, trying to hurt people. You're the Judgment Day. Like, you're supposed to be out there hurting people, and instead you're like running.
I mean,
running.
I actually forgot that, Finn and JD McDonough are the tag team champions.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, I still believe that Jay and Damian win that before the pay-per-view or something. Like, I feel like you're going to run something there to be like, because you got to get the titles off of them. If they're not going to defend the titles, if you're making it Finn against Damian, so you got your tag team titles for the last. When's the last time they defended them?
It's been a while.
So
I don't recall.
I mean, you got a tag team division that at least if you put it on whoever, at least they're defending them on TV. It might not be the greatest thing, but what are they doing with them?
Yeah, it's kind of like the Jade Bianca Belair situation. At least they're defending their belts, but
There's just nobody there to, like, if you honestly look at the women's tag team division, there's not another Bianca Belair, and there's not another Jade Cargill. And the fact you put them two together, like, who really beats them until they beat themselves? Like, that's
the only ones that I could think of is that the three girls that were attacking Damage Control, and now they're having that feud with Liva Valkyria, and oh man, that this girl came from the Heart Foundation to in that 3-on-3 match that they had. What was their name? What is their name?
Oh, the Perfection, whatever.
Shayna Baszler. Yeah,
Shayna. I mean, yeah, they're a good team. They're a good team. I just don't know that they're.
So maybe two of them could go and challenge.
Again, I like the fact that they did that, where they make it a triple threat, and then Jade and them don't figure in the. That's the way you have to get the titles off of them if you want them off.
Well, I think they were trying to push Damage Control, right? I think Damage Control is the next group that is going to probably challenge Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. But what actual like legitimate shot do they have at actually beating them? Like, I don't know.
That's the thing. Like, nothing to me makes sense as far as anybody going hold on, but going face to face and just beating Jade and Bianca. Like, there's nobody there now that can do that to me.
And then of course, what did you think about Gunther, bro? Coming out with Bret Hart and
Bill Goldberg, baby. Favorite wrestler.
That was very good of him.
Close second.
I like that.
Yeah.
Did you like
the other thing is, though, Bret was under the weather. There was talk that he was not going to be there.
Does he have a problem like walking? Yeah. Because I thought he was like.
Oh, remember he had a stroke.
Oh, he did?
Yes. Yeah, he had a stroke actually driving a motorcycle.
Oh.
He had a stroke and crashed, and so he's got some things wrong with him there. And then he was under the weather, which I don't know what the issue was. There was talk that he may not be able to make it. And then they showed the thing with him and Triple H. And again, they're not friends either, by the way.
But don't you find it ironic that
they get through stuff because they understand it's business?
Don't you find it kind of ironic now that Triple H is bringing all these people over to, like, people you don't remember? Like, would you ever think Bret Hart would have showed up if Vince McMahon was still in charge? No.
Yeah. He did it before. He's done it before.
I don't know. Now
he'll do it in Calgary. He's probably not going to. I'm not going to California for you, Vince. I'll do it in my hometown. But also it goes back to a lot of times Bret didn't want to be involved because of the product. Like that wasn't good. Like, why am I going to go out there? You have to bring Brock Lesnar back in just to get ratings. Like, so what? You're just going to use me, and then what? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or now the product is booming, and it's cool to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So, and again, he didn't have to go anywhere. It's his hometown. He's loved in Calgary. Boom. Perfect, easy thing.
And they brought
everybody's got the Calgary Hitman hockey sweaters and all that stuff. So.
Did you now talking about the hockey sweater? Did you like the fact that they did that tribute to that hockey player that passed away?
I mean, I don't have an issue with it.
But isn't it kind of awkward because they were giving a tribute? It felt like they moved away from the wrestling portion and kind of became a little bit more of like, hey, more of a sports type of vibe.
Yeah, but that's what, again, remember, the guy that took over is from ESPN, College Game Day, and the Marvel Universe. So you step out of there, and now you again, you're in that he played for Calgary. You know, like it makes sense there to do it, and I think there's more to it with the Jackie Redmond part. Like I don't know if she might have known him
Oh,
or things like that.
well,
It just
I
it
looked at
was
I looked at their story. I didn't know who these guys were.
yeah, no, they were just good players for Calgary. I might be star players for Calgary. I mean, I know they're known.
No, one of them
One
was
was Calgary, I know, but I'm saying, but they were riding their bikes and then just got ran down by a guy
by a
that was
drunk
drunk.
driver,
Yeah,
and apparently they got killed the day they were in town because they were supposed to be
a
attending a
wedding.
wedding,
Mhm.
so they got killed the day before. So
They're they're
it was sad. The story I read a little bit about it. I was like, wow, I didn't know this happened. So it wasn't
the thing that was
interesting.
interesting to me was they didn't get Tom Rinaldi to do it, like on the pay-per-views. They had their voices do it. So it's like that seems like would be a like during before the pay-per-view, they have the Rinaldi one where he comes on and he does like the story. I think that would have been perfect for it.
Now that you mentioned that this is the guy who does the Marvel universe and all that stuff, there was a report that I was reading saying that there's a very good chance that Triple H ain't gonna last that long on WWE, and that there's somebody that TKO is that it has in place that is shadowing Triple H and is basically eventually gonna take a spot. Did you hear anything about this?
I have not heard that, but I mean, it would be smart. I mean, I say that Triple H needs to go right away, but I would have somebody shadowing him. He's already had the one issue with his heart. I don't know how his health is. I mean, and again, think about this. The last pay-per-view, he's like, "Hey, I'm heading home to be with my daughter. Cody, you got the press conference." Like, think about that.
It's a good point.
I'm going home because my daughter, that was a home. I forgot what it was, but there's something with his daughter, and he's like, and again, this is a new WWE. Back in the
Yeah,
day, like you wouldn't get that time off.
yeah. I read a report saying that there somebody's shadowing him, or that it was somebody. I got to look at it, but he mentioned that he wouldn't be surprised that there's somebody from Endeavor going ahead and shadowing Triple H, and that in due time, Triple H and Nick Khan would be out of WWE and be replaced.
See, I don't know that they would go out. I think what they would do is they would take them off of the road and put them in executive positions, like Dana White,
I don't remember. I don't
and
know,
and
man.
then have them run more of the live shows. Because again, you have to remember what they do at those shows. I mean, Triple H is on the headsets the whole damn 3 hours. There, 2 hours of SmackDown. Like they're doing a lot of stuff. Like you need to have somebody understanding what he's doing. So if
Well, that's why you're shadowing.
knock on wood, something does happen, it's a more fluid thing than trying to have somebody restart the wheel. Because what he's doing is working. Can there be some things different to it? Of course, but it's working right now.
Yeah.
And then you heard about what happened with the CM Punk merchandise, right?
Know what happened to the
They
same Punk
made the
merch?
bracelet to sell on WWE Shop. And the lady that made it for CM Punk back in the day was like, wait a minute, I made that for CM Punk. And now they're not going to sell them anymore. They pulled them.
Damn, did they get any orders before they pulled them?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's funny. I would be
But
interested to
the
see.
lady did say WWE reached out to her, but not about that. But they're going to have her at an event a live show that's going to her area, because she's been involved with the whole thing there. And then the next day they brought out the thing, and then Drew McIntyre responded on that and like, boo hoo, cry me. That's why you like CM Punk. That's why CM Punk's your hero.
That's why he said that. Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So yeah. So that's pretty much WWE. You want to jump to AEW, man? This is crazy.
Well, before we go into detail with AEW, I want to go ahead first and apologize to you because I know I was gonna try to make it on Friday for SmackDown. That way we could reveal our picks
Yep.
for All Out. But for you guys behind the scenes, me and Sean went ahead and we actually did share with each other our picks. Did you get a chance to see what our records were?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not.
I didn't either. I'm not too
I,
sure.
I looked at them and I think we're about tied because I picked Statlander, you picked Willow.
Statlander won.
And then there was the other one that I think that we were divided on. You won that one and I lost. And then I think we were tied on the other ones.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on. I got it here. I got it here. So the Dustin Rhodes, Dustin Sammy, and the hologram won, right? They won. And you picked them as well, right? So we were both even on that one.
Yeah, the Kingdom, Undisputed Kingdom match, I think, is the one I lost to.
Undisputed Kingdom, yeah, because you had Mortals.
Yeah.
And Undisputed Kingdom ended up winning?
Yeah, Roderick Strong got the pin. I forgot that he's challenging Hook for the FTR title. That made sense once I remembered, because after he wins, he's like, "You're next, Hook." I'm like, "Oh, damn it, that's right."
Okay, and then we had the Bucks, and the Bucks won, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't get the chance to see the whole All Out. I saw a portion of it.
Yeah.
Then Okada won, and you had Takeshita.
Yeah.
So that one was off. Mercedes won, so we both got that one right. MJF won, and you had Danny Garcia winning.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot I did do that.
I had Willow, you had Chris Statlander. Okay. Will Ospreay won. We both had picked Will Ospreay. Bryan Danielson won. So we both picked Bryan Danielson. And then we both had Swerve, and Swerve lost in both of them. So yeah, I think from the looks of it, how many matches was this?
I'm one down, I think.
Eight,
I think I'm one off of you.
No, you're down two.
So
yeah,
5, 6, you're right. 7, Takeshita. Yeah,
Takeshita. 8-6.
Yeah.
So that's the scoreboard. All right, so let's talk about All Out. Like I told you, man, I didn't get a chance to watch all of it.
Yeah.
But I did get to watch a couple things. And all right, first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about what did you give All Out? If you had to give it a grade, what would you give it?
Probably a strong B.
Okay. I would give it a C. And the reason I would give it a C is because I'm starting to understand that they're just going a little bit too far with
little Howard Sternish, little shock.
Some of their antics is just
like
over the top. It's starting to outweigh even ECW. At least ECW still kept it wrestling wise. These guys are going a little bit further than that, and I think that's why I'm shocked that Fox would even consider them, because if you're gonna bring an AEW show into the Fox network, you got to tone it down drastically, and I don't see them toning it down. I've actually seen them keep giving these ridiculous,
Well, think about this: the AEW Dynamite, Mark Briscoe, in the first match, there's blood on Dynamite. Like you think that's gonna go on Fox?
That's
why I'm saying, holy shit.
That's why I'm telling you, Sean. You go and you tell me, hey, Frankie,
that's
Fox is interested in them. Why?
FS1, like they're gonna go for FS1.
But even if they go to FS1
or even FS2,
that's still not, like, you're still gonna have to censor. TNT and TBS don't give a damn. They hardly censor. Fox does care, and Fox would have to censor that stuff. And then,
but also there was talk of going to Fubi or something, or Tubi. I can't remember if it's an F or a T at the beginning of it.
Tubi
is their streaming service. So if they go straight to streaming, that changes it.
But Tubi is free.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna get a lot of money from Fox, bro. Like I think it's more of Fox, like, okay, let's get this wrestling thing going because we lost WWE. Because the reason also they lost WWE is because, again, the commercial rate for Fox is different than USA. And what WWE wanted, Fox didn't want to pay.
Why?
Because in order for Fox to charge a customer, the different customers on Fox, the price just didn't add up for what WWE was bringing them. It didn't make sense. And if that's the case, how the hell are they going to bring AEW in?
I mean,
I'm not even trying to be. I'm just saying. I mean, like that's not going to Fox. I know everybody's, but I love the wording of what they're using. The Fox family, yes, because I don't see. Maybe they'll do a special show once every 6 months on Fox as Clash of Champions or something like that. Maybe. But I don't see this show going, and then in that case, you're just basically on TNT and TBS because that's as many homes that get FS1. Fox is the gold. The reason Fox is so good is because everybody gets Fox almost.
And keep in mind, with WWE going to 2 hours now for Monday Night Raw, there's actually more AEW on TV right now than WWE, and their ratings are not even like close to each other at all. No. I am surprised at some of these AEW moves, but okay, so All Out, right?
Yep.
Let's start with Dynamite, right? Dynamite, you had Swerve and the whole Hangman Page. Hangman burning Swerve's house. I like that. I thought that was good.
But here's my problem with this, Frank, and this is all I'm gonna say about this, bro. All right, and again, I get it. It's pro wrestling. Other things have happened, and you can point out different things. But in this day and age, bro, you set a man's house on fire.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell? On national TV.
Yes. You
I
burned
do
that
like
house
the fact that they played out the angle and was like, I was up all night during the conference call being like, I was up all night trying to keep Hangman out of jail for burning down his house. But again, it goes back to like, how far do you cross the line?
Well, no, I didn't think it was bad burning the house. I thought it was. I like the fact they built it up. No. I like the fact that they went and Swerve said, "Hey, I got my new contract. So because I got my new contract, I was able to buy my old house for my family
home."
I like that. That was cool. And they did the little the segment at the beginning of the show. And then at the end, when Hangman was supposed to come and sign the contract, he basically goes and tells Swerve and he tells him, "Hey, I don't need to be there. We already know this is gonna happen no matter what." So then he starts trying to like circle around the house, and we knew where he was going with it. We knew he was gonna do something to the house, and he burned it. That was fine. Now,
really,
I was fine with that, Sean. I was okay with that.
This is the other thing, Frankie. If you burn my house down, like, God help you inside a steel cage. And I think they did tell a good, decent story on it, but I don't feel like it ever got to me, the violence that needed to get to. If a man just burned your house down, not just a house, all your memories, childhood memories, where your mom was at, all the stories you've told us, you didn't get the revenge on that.
Well, I don't know about all. Well, Swerve didn't. Swerve definitely didn't get the revenge on it.
So now, not only did he get his house burned down, then he got put to sleep.
Well, that's the issue. That probably means this storyline is going to continue.
No, I don't think it'll continue. Nope.
Yes, it will.
I think it will down the road, but not like right away.
Oh, no. You're going to see Swerve out for a while.
It's open. Swerve's gone for a while.
Yeah, he got hurt too. He got injured as well.
Yeah, you can't get freaking power bombed on a goddamn cinder block, bro.
What are you talking about? Isn't that one of the Wheel of Death? that we have one of the issues that when we
You
spin the wheel
can.
of death,
No. You're
you were
Frankie
gonna
Castro.
you were
You
gonna
can do
throw a
that.
power you're gonna throw me a power bomb and a cinder block. That
No
was on
way,
the
bro. No way. We'll do like that one guy where he jumps off the thing and through tables and stuff of thumbtacks and barbed wires and baseball bats and everything else. But like, I just don't feel like it was a very violent match. Don't get me wrong.
Are you kidding me? The guy took out a piece of wood of his
Burned house, I know, and tried to stop, but I don't feel like it ever got to the point. Like I like
they did
the beginning where he was gonna hold like Hangman, and they were there, and the cage is coming down.
Yeah.
Although they didn't time it right because then the cage got stuck a little bit, and then it had to like, But I loved everything about it except you freaking committed arson, bro. Like, that's my only problem on this thing. Is like, one, you committed a crime on national TV. It's videotaped and everything else.
But Sean, it's
hold on.
wrestling.
But this goes to the whole thing, though. This goes to the whole everything that happened on this night is kind of correlating in. I mean, so then you do that. Then you come out and you get put to sleep.
Yeah, no, that is messed up. Like Swerve should have won that match.
I feel like that, yes.
To get payback for burning your house and burning your
like if anything, you burn the house at the beginning, not right before the pay-per-view. So now Hangman burns your house down and then he puts your ass to sleep.
Well, this is the thing too.
The only good thing about Hangman was the confliction is gone inside him. Because he let out the big yell. Then he looked back toward the babyface locker room. Then he was like, "Oh, wrong entrance," and he went heel.
Yeah, he finally went heel.
He
did what Cody didn't want to do. I will say this: at least AEW got their shit like they always do. They went from 0 to 100 in a matter of like
seconds.
Like they just jumped the gun so quickly on that. This is the problem. I didn't have a problem with them burning the house. I said, okay, cool. He burned the house. The video,
people, like real like some of the like guys that like in WWE and thing were like, man, I feel so goddamn stupid. I was sitting Swerve, congratulations, homie, good deal, and everything else. They thought it was freaking like legit stuff, and then they watched the show and was like, son of a.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, I will.
Swerve answered back, by the way. Thanks, homie. Appreciate it. He went along with it, bro.
Hey, at least he responded.
Hey, you got to do it, man.
I will say this. If you like Hangman Page burning that house, hit that like for us as well. Don't forget to hit the like on our show that way, because I liked it. Burn his house down. That was cool.
I just feel like it escalated to a part that you. Like, what do you do after that? Like, that cage match was set up for, like, yes, it was violent. Don't get me wrong. But you have to do the cinder block spot.
That was
burn the house down. Like, that has to get done because you're trying to kill this guy.
Well, that's when you start having issues with how sick that fight started to become, because you had the cinder block. You had him trying to stab you with a piece of a house,
and then he puts the syringe through his cheek. And then here's the other thing that's interesting that nobody, and I believe somebody said this. What if there was something in the syringe that is what put Swerve to sleep? What if that's part of the story?
I don't know, man.
But I mean, that's the stuff you have to do because you burned the man's house down. You're shoving syringes through people's like.
So, look, man, it's wrestling. We know that it's.
I get that.
I don't think did he actually burn the house? I don't think he burned the house in real life. Did he?
Yes.
They actually burned the house.
Burned the house down. Yes. Tony Khan bought the house to burn the house down.
Damn, that's so messed up.
It was a controlled area. Like
you definitely gotta.
He's sitting there with scotch in the chair, just The house is on fire behind them, bro.
But that can't be Swerve's original house. I think that's BS. They had to. Like,
No, I don't know all about that. That house was purchased as part, because when I first saw that, I said, "Damn, Swerve signed a new contract, and this is the house he got."
yeah,
I didn't hear the audio the first time when we were doing a show or something, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, let me like this and send it to myself so I can rehear what he says," because I'm like, "Damn, bro, you just got a big ass contract, and this is what you get." They got vinyl siding, like it like got a wood piece on front of the window. I was like, "Damn." And then it was like, "Oh no, it's my childhood home." I was like, "Oh, okay." So you buy your childhood home, you fix it up, it's good, and then freaking hour later, it's freaking on fire.
well, I also heard that Hangman Page almost burned himself trying to burn that house down, which is funny.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was
Did you
crazy.
see the thing? He was talking, and the match is like getting closer and closer. It's like, oh.
Yeah. When I saw the syringe, I started again. This is one thing that always
You start
sticks.
questioning yourself a little bit, huh? What the hell am I watching?
And not only that, but it always brings back to Eric Bischoff's comment that he said that AEW is just a big production of an indie show, and the more and more I see it, I do see it like that. It's like a big indie show because those type of things are things you would see in an indie show. It's not something that you would see in a big wrestling organization, in my opinion. I don't think so. I mean, ECW went extreme, but
Yeah, but that's what Paul Heyman accentuate the positives and hide the negatives. We didn't have guys that could. The guys that could go out and flip and wrestle went out, flipped and wrestled. The other guys just beat the crap out of each other.
yes.
And none of them were hitting each other's syringes, by the way. They used everything else.
No. And then okay, so we had that going on, right? And then let's go back a couple maybe 20, 30 minutes before that, and you had some guy try to freaking kill the other guy with the bag, bro. You try to choke Bryan Danielson out.
They tried to choke him. They tried to smother him, man, with a plastic bag.
So when I saw that, I mean, okay, look, when I saw the Blackpool Combat Club turn on him, I was like, okay, cool. They turned on him. I figured that was gonna happen.
I knew something was happening. I was like, dude, this is set up just to be like, because when they all came out and Bryan Danielson was in the ring, kind of like smiling, like, oh, there's my boys. I was like, this dude has no idea what's about to happen. But the problem was, I didn't have any idea what was going to happen.
We didn't have any. Nobody had the idea that they were going to go that
far. You was just being held by Pac, crying like, bro, your dude's getting killed.
That's too extreme, bro. That I don't know if I find that entertaining. You see Moxley grab a bag and literally start choking.
But the storytelling part of it, pretty damn good, by the way. Can I tell you that?
Sean, it's ruined because of the whole act of John Moxley trying to kill Bryan Danielson.
No, but listen to this. Because again, I go down the rabbit holes and I start following things. Remember, Claudio walked out on Bryan Danielson when he joined Team AEW and he cut a promo. Moxley was out at that point, injured. Daniel Bryan teamed up with who? Eddie Kingston.
Okay.
And Team AEW. Claudio did not want any of that. He leaves the ring in disgust.
Good point, yeah.
Eddie Kingston pitched the idea of smothering somebody with a plastic bag, and it was denied by Tony Khan.
Okay.
And now it turns around to this one, and here they are taking Bryan Danielson out with the plastic bag that was denied to Eddie Kingston. That started all of this. Pac just kind of joined in, I think, because the Lucha Brothers, and they were like, "Oh, we got to figure something to do with Pac. Here you go."
Which I kind of like the fact.
I like it. No, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I think that's where that fit in there. And then, I like everything they're doing there. I just didn't like the fact that, and then you do all this, right? And you bring out this little ass oxygen tank, and then you hand carry Bryan Danielson to the back. Like, you can't even get a goddamn stretcher.
That was rough, man. Watching that, I'm sorry, dude.
Those
Like,
two spots, like the crowd was kind of like, "What the hell did we just see?" It was like they were like trying to pop, but they're still like, I don't know if I should cheer for this because I don't know if that guy's dead.
well, they were cheering. Remember, they started cheering, saying that what were they? You're trying to murder him or something. They
Yeah.
were cheering something out.
You're
a murderer or something like that.
Murderer, yeah. As he was walking,
Something like that. I was like,
bro, like
that is insane. And that wants to go on. And I'm a Fox, staff or something. I want that
they're
in
watching
my.
it like, yes, this is gonna be great for Fox.
Like, that's what you want on Fox? People yelling, saying, "Yo, that guy's a murderer."
Coming up next, we got the Trump debate, followed by AEW Shockwave. Somebody's dying tonight.
Jesus Christ, what did we just watch with these two guys? Like, I mean, look, man, there was a guy I saw online that he wrote a petition and he was getting signatures to go ahead and ban AEW from TNT and TBS because of what he saw. He said that he paid for this pay-per-view. His children, okay, now let's look at what he technically he has a good
here's
point.
the thing, though. Here's the thing. If you want your kids to watch this, at no point do they say it's PG.
At no point
WWE.
I know
WWE or any of that stuff.
I
If you
know
make the decision, if you watch any of these shows, they're bleeding on Dynamite. They're bleeding on Collision.
yeah, Sean, but
Doing all that. And I get it. I get it.
You're going more extreme.
Above bleeding. But again, it's a pay-per-view, so you know they're going to pull out more stops, though.
Yeah, but Sean, you
watch at your own risk.
You and me, when we were watching that, we're like, what the hell are we watching?
Oh my God, yes, I did. I said
so like if we're grown as adults and we're wrestling fans and we watch AEW, which a lot of people don't, at least not based on the numbers recently.
Maybe they watch it afterwards or something.
And you bring your kid and you see this, like, man, I could understand somebody getting, shocked and be like, I can't show this to my kids. Like, you're pretty much showing a kid, hey, it's okay to go ahead and put.
Yeah, but you're okay with them on Wednesday showing them burn your house down? Trust me.
I mean, that is, yeah. You're not giving the best perception, or you're giving bad ideas.
Don't get me wrong either. I mean, WWE's done it before. Randy Orton burned down Bray Wyatt's house. Remember that? That was the thing. Vince McMahon got blown up in a limousine. The stage collapsed on Vince McMahon, and they're like, "Who's trying to kill him?" Like, there's been instances of this stuff, but like, I think in this day and age, it's just, to me, it's like,
it sure is extreme.
Like, it's like, wow, wait, you just burned the man's house down, and now
did WWE ever try to put back?
This is the other problem. This is the other problem I got with that match too. To go back to, by the way, it's an unsanctioned match. AEW will not be held liable for whatever happens. The ref stops the match because Swerve can't go. What?
So you're
it's not sanctioned. It's not like what the ref's making the decision. It's not sanctioned by AEW. Why does an AEW official get to stop?
Sean, you wanted to see more?
Oh, hang on. Yes, burn them.
You're a sick bastard. Just like
burn them, man.
Page.
No, but I mean, it's little things like that sometimes that just like.
No, dude, like that is just over the top.
I mean, those two were, because the rest of the pay-per-view was good.
You want to know?
Because they wanted to have those big, oh my God, what the hell just happened moments.
I will say this.
Everybody's talking about it. And then again, Tony Khan knew, because of the timing of how the pay-per-view was, he wasn't going to be at the press conference long. He was going to say what he had to say and get out, because he was flying to Miami to be for the Dolphins-Jaguars game.
Oh, he was there?
Yes.
Damn it, I wish I would have gone and taken a photo with him. I didn't see him.
He was there. So the press conference was very quick, very like whatever, da-da-da. They asked a couple questions. He was gone.
Wow.
There was an incident that happened backstage between a producer and a performer that wasn't on the card.
I didn't watch the post.
So
thing.
it was nothing. It was nothing. It was RJ City, the guy, the one guy, and Renee talking most of the time, and then they brought in a couple people talking about it because I don't know that they knew what the hell to say. What do you say? You just saw a guy try to kill somebody in the match before, and then you watch a guy put a syringe through somebody's cheek. And power bombs on
Cinder
blocks.
Stapling his photo on his mouth. Did you see that? Like when he stapled the photo on his, I was like, what am I watching here?
You're doing clotheslines with barbed wire. Like, I mean,
I was like, what is this? This is not wrestling. This is just extreme. Like, I don't know, dude.
That's what you have to do, dude. If you burn my house down, I don't know. I love how they're like, we've got both men in their locker rooms with and they got the AEW security guys.
like
to
they're gonna do
me,
anything.
you should have the armed police officers in there to make it look legit. Those damn AEW guys get thrown around so goddamn much. Marina Shafir uses them as throwing dummies.
Yeah,
and you're gonna tell me they can hang them, they can keep them away. Like,
Sean,
just,
I'm just shell shocked of what we saw that day. Like, and I will say this.
What's up, Trapio? Sorry, I just saw you guys now. Sorry.
What's up, guys? I will say this. My favorite match out of everything was the Will Nightingale versus Chris Statlander.
You know what I thought? Tony learned the Will Ospreay match. He's like, no Mercedes after that this time. We're putting the plunder match after it. And they performed and they did good. Mercedes Moné needs to figure it out, bro. She needs to figure it out. She has that WWE-ish style wrestling, and it does not translate to those crowds, man. You can say whatever you want to say. Oh, they hate her, this and that. Most of the time, they're not. They can almost care less
but
about
Sean,
what goes on.
Come on, man. You're putting her against Hikaru Shida. And I know they were building a storyline, but Hikaru Shida? Like, seriously? That's who you're gonna put her up against? That's a fight that you would see on a Dynamite. That's not a fight that you see on a pay-per-view.
What else you gonna do, buddy? I mean, apparently Britt Baker's hasn't been back since the pay-per-view match. So there's something more there. Like, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Jamie Hayter, you can't throw her right in there now.
You could have put it Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa has been fighting a couple times.
I don't think. Look, see, you think like Shida is an international star.
I get it, Sean.
That's what it's a Mercedes.
But it doesn't. If you were gonna do that, then you do that on a show that's not being done here in the States. You do that one of the shows that one of the pay-per-views that is going to be taken overseas.
That's 2025.
Exactly. So you create that storyline for 2025.
I just don't like what they're doing with Camille. You bar her from ringside, but then you have her beat her clean. Like, what are you trying to do with her?
And they have other women there. This girl, she was good. That she was having fights with Jake Cargo when Cargo used to be there. The one that's with Johnny Nitro. Damn it, his wife.
Yeah, Tara Valkyrie.
Dude, she's good. She's really good. Why don't you build her up to go against Mercedes Moné? She had a good run when she went against Jake Cargo.
She's good. She's good. But the thing is, like, again, when you look at Tony Khan, you know what he's like, Shida versus Moné. That's the match. That's an international match everybody wants to see. And again, I think sometimes he outsmarts himself and he thinks he's giving everybody these matches that they want to see. And look, you have ruined Shida for a lot of people now. It was great when she was there and she came in and she was the champion at the beginning and you were having her like fire, but now you've made her just another person. You made her another woman on the roster. And that's the problem. Everybody's being made as just a woman on the roster. Nobody feels like they're the next woman.
That's a very good point because Mercedes, This girl, the one I just mentioned, the Mexican girl,
Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa is just another girl.
Yeah, they're all just another. There's no big like, oh, that.
They even did that. They even
They're
did that
gonna
with
be good
Paige.
matches. You're going to get a good match, Thunder Rosa against Mercedes Moné. But again, it's not a pay-per-view match. And the style that she wrestles just doesn't work in the card where they had her going after Will Ospreay. When you go from Will Ospreay to Mercedes Moné, that's doesn't work.
Man, that is rough. That is rough because I'm gonna be honest with you. They have the women, like they have.
I'm not saying they don't, but they do not put them together right.
No, they don't.
Like now you're trying after you did everything you did with Deonna Purrazzo. Now it's like, now I'm going to rebuild myself.
Yeah,
why do you have to rebuild yourself? Because you were booked so badly in that other stuff?
I mean, you know what?
You can have them lose. I'm not saying like somebody's got to go on 108 wins, but if everybody's just beating everybody, there's nobody standing out. You have to have somebody stand out to make, like, Shida's not beating Moné. I mean, you probably could have one hand tied behind her back, and Moné's not losing to Shida. Like, it was like, I don't even understand why that match is on there. But
no,
again,
I mean, and you have other girls that could
who
probably
else you put on there that you think is going to beat Mercedes Moné right now? Who at AEW right now you look at and go, you know what? I'm intrigued that somebody she could win this match.
Saraya. But they didn't create a story, and there's backstory behind those two girls because of the whole situation with her.
It's there, but again, Saraya now is still, I believe, other than when she goes to England, she is now just another name on the roster.
Yes, I agree.
She does not stand out. From Mariah May stands out, Toni Storm stands out, Mercedes Moné. That's it.
I mean, they're trying to pull up Deonna Purrazzo as well.
Yeah, but now you got to rebuild her because you jobbed her out to Thunder Rosa.
They're trying to rebuild Jamie Hayter because they just brought her in.
Well, she just came back from injury, so you don't want to throw her into the mix just yet. I like what they're doing with her, coming back to avenge her injury to Saraya, and she's having good matches with Saraya and Cameron and all that stuff. So
I don't know where Sky Blue is. I don't know if she's still injured.
Yes, she's injured. She got attacked right before the pay-per-view by Mariah May. And Ultima Queen Antima, what's her name? Queen. She's on Ring of Honor a lot. She came out to save her.
Oh, Athena.
No, not Athena, not the Ring of Honor champion. The other one.
Oh, I don't know.
So she's going to be taking on Mariah May.
But where are the other girls like Anna Jay? She was very good, and I haven't seen her in a while. Julia Hart, where's Julia Hart? Where's Ruby Soho? Did she already give birth?
No, she's pregnant still. Yeah, no.
Okay. Taya Valkyrie, she's good. Ty Mello, where is she at?
They've never brought her back, so I don't know. I don't know what the.
And then they bring this guy back, Sammy Guevara, in Ring of Honor. What is that?
And Dustin Rhodes is champion.
I don't know. What happened to Serena Deeb? She's another one. They could have probably built her up too.
Again, she was there. She did a couple things, and then now it's.
There is other there are other women.
They have a great women's roster. I'm not taking anything away from the roster, but the way they have booked it out, it just they have not made anybody stand out anymore. I think they kind of put their eggs on Britt returning, and I think they thought, okay, Britt can hold the fort for a while. Hayter comes back, gets into, and then now she goes into it. The problem was they had that stinker at All In, and now it's you don't even see her anymore. She hasn't been at show since then. You have nobody prepared now, so it's like
I'm just.
But it also goes to where you have too many titles.
Yeah,
because if you don't have Mercedes Moné with the TBS title, she's fighting with Mariah May, with Toni Storm for the heavyweight title, or they're fighting for her. Again, now you're fighting for that one title. Instead, now you've got 2 titles, and you don't have enough. You haven't positioned the roster with enough, top talent because of what. Again, I want to make sure I'm saying this right. Top talent by the way you've booked it.
Yeah, but Sean, WWE has the same thing where you have 2 women champions, one for SmackDown, one for Raw. If AEW was smarter, they would cater that way as well. They would do one for Collision and one for Dynamite. They didn't do that. And they kind of all put it all on Dynamite, and just you've mentioned it that
they put all their eggs in Dynamite because that's where the numbers are. That's the problem.
And then they pretty much gave up on Collision. It's just like a follow-up show, just trying to build for what's gonna happen in Dynamite. So I'm just curious, why did you give this pay-per-view a B plus?
Because I thought the matches were good. I thought the MJF. I'm not saying like necessarily. I thought Daniel Garcia should have beat MJF. I didn't like the way the pin went. I get at least you screwed him. You did the low blow. You did that. You had I thought Will Ospreay Pac delivered.
That was a good match.
Willow Nightingale and
that was the best match.
Statlander delivered. Now I thought Bryan Danielson, Jack Perry was a good, decent match, and not necessarily the stuff that happened at the end and all that stuff.
Did you see that the referee moved?
He moved his leg over. Yeah.
What is that?
Well, he said that was a bad angle. Mark Henry was like, "Yeah, but I can't say anything because I get called a hater." And he replied back, "Mark, I like you. We've been good friends. I helped you with travel. Reach out to me, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. It was the angle." But I watched it time and time, and he hooks it in. It's not like he goes 1, 2. And he's pushing it off. Like, I don't know. And it was the same referee that did the MJF count too. And what happened on that one was he jumps over and he hits 1 as he lands. Usually they slide in and then go 1, 2, 3. He jumped up, and as he was coming down, he's 1, 2. So the fans are already behind. So they're going 1, 2, and the ref is ringing the bell because he did 3 already.
But Sean, have you ever seen that?
No, not that. But again, it's changed a lot. You used to not really watch the ref as much as you do nowadays.
Sean, they made that so damn obvious, bro.
Well, that was pretty damn obvious. Yes. Yeah, it doesn't get much more than just push. Other than if you just grab his pants and pulled him over.
When I saw that, I'm like, wait, that's why that show for me. I was like, what is going on here? When I saw that, I was like, wait, what did I just see here? Is the referee trying to screw over?
Yeah. And I even thought the Bucks match was good for what it was. I didn't think they were going to win. Now the shenanigans, again, I didn't really grade that to knock it down. If I do, then it probably takes the letter grade off and it becomes a C. But I thought the action in the ring was a B.
I didn't get a chance to watch the Young Bucks fight. That one was one of the
fights. It was a Young Bucks match, but it was there was times where you're like, oh, they might give the titles to them, even though you're going, there's no way. But there was a couple times where you're like, okay. And then especially when you know how everything turns out the end, and Claudio's part of he's accomplished a murder.
Dude, I mean, I don't know what we were watching. I mean, how many people bought that pay-per-view?
I don't know. I have to look at that, man. Because honestly, if you look at it, for being a week turnover, like 2 week turnover, wasn't a terrible pay-per-view.
I mean, they were sold out. Did you see that crowd? That crowd. Okay, so that was another thing. Remember, I sent you the thing of how the crowd looked for that
on Friday.
Yeah, that Collision and Rampage looked terrible, bro. There was nobody there, bro.
I don't understand why they ran the same building 2 nights in a row. Because they're not SmackDown. They're not, like
they're AEW, bro. They don't make any.
Here's the dumb thing. You put 8 men in a match that they're gonna see tomorrow.
So act like that doesn't make any fucking sense, bro.
Why am I going to pay another $50 to watch them fight each other when then you want me to pay $100 tomorrow to come back to watch a pay-per-view? Like, no, I'm not doing that, bro. I'll watch them on Saturday when they might lose their belt.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see this guy Friday, and I want to see him again on Saturday, bro. What kind of foolishness is this, bro? Like, you can't, dude. Like, can you, dude?
And I also I think Sean Ross Sapp nailed it too. By the way, there's way too many titles in AEW, and he said it by this. Who challenged for the heavyweight title?
Sorry, John. I'm just it's cracking me up when you just said that these guys you pay for Friday to see them fight, and you're gonna see them again on Saturday. It makes
the match that count. Friday, it doesn't matter. Who the hell cares?
What? Jesus. All right, go back. Ask that question again.
So Sean Ross Sapp says he feels that pay-per-view showed that there's too many titles in AEW.
Okay.
And the reason he said that was because of this. Who challenged for the AEW World Heavyweight? And Wilford Joseph, how you doing, sir? Welcome back.
Welcome, bro.
Who challenged for the AEW Heavyweight title?
Bryan Danielson's?
Yep.
Wasn't it Jack Perry, right? Jack Perry.
That's right. And Jack Perry's what?
The
TNT champion, right?
Yeah.
All right. Will Ospreay fought Pac, right?
Yeah.
Will Ospreay's title is the international title. Pac
has the Trios
championship. The Young Bucks are the AEW Tag Team Championships. They fought the other two members of the Trios champions. Okada is fighting Mark Briscoe, the Our Ring of Honor champion, is fighting for that title.
Yeah, and Okada has the Continental.
Yeah, every match almost had another championship in it if it was for a title. Like that doesn't make, I mean, again, that just makes it look, and again, I get this.
Hold on.
This was only a 2-week turnover, so you didn't have a lot to really do, but like,
hold on. Can I share this with you? Can I share this with you guys?
Can I share this with you? Yes, you can.
All right, so here it is. Here's the thing I wanted to share. These are our champions right here. Does this seem like a lot of champions?
That's not all of them.
For the AEW portion of it.
Oh, well, yeah, and then you're good. Yeah.
It doesn't look that bad.
It is, bro.
It doesn't look that bad.
Think about this. Okay, let's look at this. Okay,
let's compare with WWE then.
Oh, no, but look, that's what I was gonna say. Look at WWE. Okay, so you've got the heavyweight champ on each brand. Okay, let's go by brand. You've got the heavyweight champion and the U.S. champion or the Intercontinental, right? So you've got two men's titles.
What do you have? Okay, wait, hold on. Let's do this. What is on Raw?
You've got Gunther, which is what, the WWE, or no, the World Heavyweight Champion.
Okay.
And Gunther. You've got Braun Breaker, the United States Champion.
No, Braun Breaker is
he's IC. Intercontinental. Sorry, he's Intercontinental. Sorry. Yeah.
So IC Champion. Okay.
Then you've got the Women's Champion, Liv Morgan.
You got Liv. She's the Women's Champion. Yep. Okay, that's 3 belts.
And you got the Tag Team Champions, which is Judgment Day.
And you also got Bianca Belair and technically.
Oh, they go back and forth. They're SmackDown.
So let's put them on Raw though.
Well, yeah, whichever one. Okay, then that's fine.
So we got women's tag. Okay, yep. Women's. So right there we have 1, 2, 3, and we'll count the tag teams as one as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. So now let's go to SmackDown. In SmackDown we have Cody.
Wait a minute, you said 5?
Yeah, that's 5 already. Gunther, Braun Breaker, Liv Morgan, Judgment Day with the tag team belts, and
I forgot about Judgment Day. You're right.
Okay, so now let's go to SmackDown. So you got Cody, Universal Champ, right?
Yep. LA Knight.
You have LA Knight USA Champ.
Yep.
That's it, right?
And the Bloodline is your tag team champions.
Oh, so another tag team champions. So you have 3. Mm-hmm. So in total, you have a total of 8. Yep. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 too.
Yeah, but you don't have, again, you have LA Knight. Is LA Knight like the face of WWE? Yeah, he's popular. Will Ospreay is is one of the faces of AEW. That's the problem you have right now. Will Ospreay would be challenging Bryan Danielson for the heavyweight title. You just
That
had
is
your
true.
three.
Okay, I
But
get where
the
you're going
problem
with
is
this.
you have all the titles fighting the titles. You haven't built anybody else up.
I get what you're saying. I get
It
what you're
wouldn't be
saying.
bad if you build up all, like Darby Allin could have fought Okada. Like, why are you using Mark Briscoe, the Ring of Honor champ? I get
You
Mark
take away
Briscoe, but then don't bring him out as the Ring of Honor heavyweight champion. Just bring him out as Mark Briscoe.
the only one that makes sense here out of all these guys that are there is Jack Perry. He's the only one that makes sense to have that type of belt. But
I
Okada
agree.
makes no sense for having that
No,
belt because
no.
Okada should be challenging Bryan Danielson.
I
Will
honestly
Ospreay,
thought they were going to take the title off Okada. This was the way of getting it off. You have a 4-way. Okada doesn't have to get pinned, and you can get a title off of him. But they didn't do it because I guess they can say Okada can't suffer a loss, but it wouldn't be a loss to him. Like,
and if they built him right, he wouldn't need to have a belt either.
all that's exactly. If you take the belt off Okada and now have Okada challenge Ospreay, and those two fight for that title, or even fight Danielson,
Yeah,
that changes everything because now you have another title match. Because I was thinking Takeshita would be your new Continental champion.
yeah.
So now you have him fighting people, and then you can move Okada on to the more main event stuff. Like the Elite says, we want to have the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, nobody you have there wins it. But then again, now here might be the turning point of all this. Hangman walks back through the heel locker room. Does he go back to the Elite? Does he challenge Bryan Danielson for the title? Is he the guy that will bring the title to the Elite?
Yeah.
Because Okada and Hangman don't get along. So that might be something to be possibly. But the problem isn't that there's maybe too many titles. The problem gets to the way you have built everybody up.
No Doubt says, should they change the format and give some extra weeks between All In and All Out, in your opinions?
I would give it a little bit more, yeah, but I don't know what the next pay-per-view is, and I don't know. I mean, remember last year it was Sunday. There was no time in between. This year, at least they gave you a week off. There was a WWE pay-per-view that weekend, and then they were back in. So honestly, man, I feel like they have put themselves in a bad situation by doing so many pay-per-views.
Well, look, All Out was obviously this past Saturday. Wrestle Dream is on October the 12th.
That's where I think you're getting Moxley against Danielson.
Full
Because
Gear.
it's in Danielson's hometown.
Full Gear is on November 23rd, and then World's End is in December 28th. My issue is they need to fix All In and All Out. I think they should spread it out.
They need to get rid of some of these pay-per-views, bro. They had a right plan. 4, and then add an extra one here or there. 5 or 6 or whatever, if you want to do 6. But for them to do 9, they don't have enough storylines and you're throwing together matches. You're bringing guys from AAA. You're bringing guys from CMLL. You're just, I mean, think about it. One of their pay-per-views is Forbidden Door because you're not using all of your talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like, oh. What's up, Cat for Life?
It's interesting, man. It's interesting what they're doing. What did Cap say, ladies and gentlemen? Just checking in.
Got his fantasy football. Crazy. I'll be back, bros. We will be.
Joseph Wilford says they will fix it. They are still young. They are still young. Storyline will come. Do you think they'll fix it?
I don't feel like they've gone the wrong way. They've gotten better this last couple pay-per-views, but I felt like before that they were going the wrong way. Because I even talked about it. Evolution to me was a turning point. And then it started going away again, and then now it's coming back again. So, look, I get it. They're a young company and all that stuff, but again, when you say you're about, big moments, big matches, you can't have 9 pay-per-views and do 6 hours of TV because some of those matches are getting eaten up for free.
Yeah. How many times have we seen Swerve versus Hangman already?
4. The next one will be 5. And there will be a next one.
I mean, there should be. I mean, the guy got his house burned down and then he lost. He didn't even get revenge.
No. And he got stuck with a needle. Like, I mean, I don't even know what he got pumped full of. Lip filler? What? Let's see. No doubt says Joseph has faith. God bless you, brother.
Yeah.
Also, Cap for Life, no doubt. If you guys can, send me a DM on X if you can, please. Cap for Life, no doubt. If you guys get a chance, please. Wilford says they have been here for 6 years. Look what they fixed All Out. Look what the first All Out stadium shows are coming. See, but here's the thing, Wilford. And again, I'm not against AEW. I like what they're doing. The problem I have with AEW is this. They're going to do fine on the international portion with these shows. But the next All Out in Dallas, very interested to see how that does and what they do to get, again, because we're a year away. So they can change 100% around and build interest. But that's going to be the interesting one because, again, and WWE has figured this out finally. You go international for your little pay-per-views, and you can just give them a show.
Yeah, because
then when you come back to the U.S., you have your Survivor Series, and you break out Roman and Rock and WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, where you have all these guys that come back and surprises. So you have the big 4 locally that'll sell out, and then you send the other ones away. Because the fans are going to, it's a different vibe when you go international. Like their Forbidden Door, London's going to be fantastic next year. The one in Australia, what is that one? That's going to be, whatever that one that's going to happen. I think it's Grand Slam actually, Grand Slam Australia. It's going to be great because those fans are a different vibe. Problem is, when you come to the U.S., is it going to be the same? And that's going to be their test. Because, look, attendance is not doing well. They did good for the pay-per-view, and they usually do good on the pay-per-views. But they've got to clean it up, and they've got to make it more intriguing to where you want to tune in on Wednesday because you're afraid you're going to miss something.
And let's not forget that
now it doesn't. The only thing I'm afraid I'm going to miss this Wednesday is Moxley getting arrested as he walks in the building.
And let's not forget that they technically, Blood and Guts is similar to like a pay-per-view, except they give it for free, but they hype it up like if it was like a pay-per-view as well.
And they still have those shows every once in a while. You're, like you just said, they're Blood and Guts. They have the Battle of the Belts, which I think they should promote more and do better with. I think though, because again, back in the day, WCW had Clash of the Champions on TBS on set, and those ended up being similar to some pay-per-view matches. You had your regular matches, and then you get a couple big matches like Flair and Arn Anderson against Sting and Luger, or something. You would get something that maybe the title's not on the line, but it still made sense. Not just, hey, here's Athena against somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they used that just to put on a show. And they got to start having impact on some of their broadcasts. Hold on a minute. Swerve versus Hangman still hitting, yes. How many times did Triple H fight The Rock? Oh no, it's not it, but each time they fought,
It was on a pay-per-view.
It was a new story, but a different story in a way. You know, like
And it wasn't on a
them fighting each other, but and like I said, they attacked each other and they fought in tag team matches on Raw.
Yeah.
But the only time that they really fought, and no, that was actually Mankind and The Rock. Well, I was gonna say that one time when The Rock lost the title. I mean, yeah, they're gonna have those matches, but most of the time when they had those matches, it was like people interfered or things happened. You know, Vince interfered or Stone Cold would come in with the Zamboni and save everybody. It wasn't finished matches. So you left a little bit hanging. You know, were there times where
let's keep it real. It's probably what's gonna happen this SmackDown. Well, they'll probably leave something hanging for, Cody versus Solo. I'm hoping that's what I'm expecting from it.
I hope if it's this is all I'll say on that. And like I said earlier, if it's a clean pin, I don't want to hear Solo ever again. No, I'm serious. Like that's done. It's over. Like how are you supposed to be the head of the table, the tribal chief, and you get pinned clean inside a steel cage?
Yeah,
that doesn't work. Shane McMahon will be here. Big things are going. I hope. Well, we've talked about it before.
That's their saving grace, I think.
And to be honest, I pitched two things. One, Shane McMahon comes in and joins. At the time, I was saying Moxley or whatever, and makes kind of like the, whatever. If you want to do like a WWE type thing, taking over group, or the one thing that I've said from the beginning is Tony Khan go heel.
Yeah, but we know that he's not going to go.
He's never going to do it. But
it's not.
That would be that's the unexpected thing that then all of a sudden, because I get it, he doesn't want to do it. He said it before that he's not going to do that because he doesn't want to be like what Vince McMahon did. But remember, Vince said the same thing until his company was almost about to shut down. And then it was like, all right, time to pull out the stops. And I am in no way saying AEW is going down because they have more money than anything. So that's not even a thought. But at what point do you say, okay, we've got to do something that's going to make people say, let me check this out. AEW should hire Mick Foley to write and develop characters. I don't know, man. I don't know about Foley right now. I love him to death. He's great, but I don't know, man, if I would want him writing storylines for guys and gals. Wilford said Dom is the future. Oh, my God, you're Team Frankie Fresco. Wilford said Dom is future WWE champion.
I love it.
I don't disagree with that, man. I'm very interested to see how this whole thing plays out because I feel like he's healing so hard that they're going to end up doing that swerve and leaving him by himself and seeing if the fans end up having any empathy for him and see if he can turn in from the biggest heel to the biggest baby face. Remind you of anybody?
I like this Wilfred
maybe
guy.
Dom will do the kangaroo kick too.
I like this Wilfred guy. Wilfred, I like you, bro.
I like Wilfred.
Tune in more, man.
Bro.
Come on, more. I like him.
That's what I love the talk. I love the debating. I love asking questions, and we keep it respectful. And let's have fun and talk about it, man. Because it's best when AEW's thriving and WWE's thriving and TNA's thriving and NWA and MLW and New Japan and when they're all doing good, it makes these shows so much easier to talk about.
I think the only thing that's going to save AEW is obviously probably Shane. But the problem is, if they do bring Shane, are they going to be able to continue to keep it relevant? Because it tends to happen that a lot of those people that they bring over tend to fall out. You're seeing it with Mercedes Moné.
Seeing it with Okada. You're seeing it with Will Ospreay is different because he's keeping it different.
But keep in mind, man, look, they're already throwing in Ricochet versus Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I thought that was a quick thing. Like I was like, wow, already?
And
that's one of the things where you could tease it a little bit.
Yeah.
You like reality of wrestling. Yeah, that's Booker's thing, right? Reality of wrestling. I watch it occasionally. I haven't been into it yet, Wilfred. Is it good? I don't know. I don't know if you're asking because you watch it. Is it good? I've watched a couple matches like with Zilla and things like that. I think that's Booker's reality is Booker's. I'll be honest, I don't see Shane making a difference. I don't get it. The only way he'll make a difference is if you make it. And again, it's one of those things to where you have to try to make a modern day NWO style thing. You have to make it look like Shane McMahon's coming in hostile takeover.
I don't know if they'll even do that right.
And then Tony Khan needs to fight for his company. Tony Khan needs to get involved one way or the other. To me. Because, again, I'm so sick of the Team AEW, and it's like 4 guys thrown together. Like, damn it, make a Team AEW and have your champion. And I get it, guys don't get along with each other. But it happened in WWE when they had to verse WCW, right? We need to get together for one time. And then Vince McMahon saying, and then Stone Cold's like, that's right, one time we need to be together. And Team WWE was Stone Cold, Kane, The Undertaker, and Y2J. It wasn't Mark Briscoe, Darby Allin, Bryan Danielson, and some other person that we got to throw in there because, like, it's got to make sense to me. That's the problem. It's like Team AEW is just 4 guys we throw together. There you go.
Yeah, man.
I need Ricochet versus Hologram before Ricochet goes to the top, and it doesn't make sense.
I mean, I don't know, man. Hologram. And there's some guys out there in AEW that you're just still wondering where are they, like, or what they're doing with them. Like, where's Adam Cole? I know Copeland is still injured.
Yeah.
What happened to?
Can I tell you something? I forgot. I know we talked about this a little bit. Do you know who the number 8 moving merchandise is in AEW?
Isn't it somebody outside? Like I read that tag team group, right? Is it that
The Outrunners?
The Outrunners, yeah.
You know who number 7 is?
No,
the artist guy. Schamberger or Schamberger. Swerve's not even in the top 10.
Wow.
Like, to me, you should be selling like the grills, especially now with Swerve when they rip the grill out of his mouth. Like, you can't come up with merchandise that's like gold teeth that say Swerve on them for kids. Like, there's.
Oh wait, for kids, come on, Sean.
There's a lot of things. Make it a mouthpiece, whatever. It doesn't be like the grill necessarily, but a mouthpiece or something for it. Just.
But
I don't see how Swerve, with everything he's done, isn't moving merchandise. That tells me you don't have merchandise for him.
Or they don't want to make merchandise for him.
But also, it might be the fact that every time, until this time, Swerve has always been the heel. When it came to the match, he's the one that always made it personal.
I'm looking at their roster again, right? And I'm just checking some of these guys, and I'm like, where are they, dude? Trent Beretta, is he still injured? Warlow, where is this guy? Samoa Joe.
Home to Ricky Starks waiting to go to WWE.
Samoa Joe, I know Samoa Joe is doing his like
movies.
Roosh. What happened to Roosh?
He's probably waiting to join Andrade.
Where the hell did Powerhouse Hobbs go?
He was injured. He's coming back.
Ricky Stark.
Yeah. We don't know about him.
What happened to Ortiz? Ever since Santana dipped, he's out.
Well, they weren't going to team up together anyways. That was not going to happen.
Where's Miro?
Miro is in his home country right now.
You have some of these guys that are like really
and they're also getting paid rather well. That's the thing too that like is so
Keith Lee
interesting.
I saw that Kenny Omega, he's still trying to recover.
He's getting more pictures on social media from WWE than he is AEW.
Where's Jay White? He's disappeared.
He got hurt.
Oh, that's true. He is hurt. He is hurt for a minute. I don't know, man. Eddie Kingston's hurt as well. Hologram.
And half of them got hurt doing something other than AEW. Think about it. Eddie Kingston got hurt doing New Japan.
Wow.
Like, it's a cool deal. It's a cool thing, but like, I pay the salary. Like, I understand that end of it from like when Vince McMahon's like, why am I going to send you to somebody else's company for you to make money for them? I'm paying you. Like, that's the part of it that just like, I get it. It's cool. It's refreshing. It's cool to see. But then when people get hurt, and now I've got to pay whatever the salary is that I'm paying you guys because I guarantee your contracts, but yet you're doing nothing for me.
Yeah, man. And you still have some under the card guys that could probably hang. Like Bandito is a good one.
Yeah, there's guys in there. Those guys should be the ones challenging Osprey,
Dante Martin is another one
Okada,
that can hang.
Jack Perry. You know,
Dralistico is another one that can hang. Action Andretti is another one. I guess Hologram, and I no doubt saying I know you don't like Hologram, but the dude is fun to watch. I think they could play well off of each other and make an incredible match. I get it, but like how many people are invested on Hologram? I don't see it. Like it Johnny TV, that guy has a lot to offer to AEW, and they don't use him right. Commander, another guy. Lance Archer, from time to time, they just throw him here and there. I mean, he was there the other day.
they've done bad by him by so much. Like, I don't even see him when he shows up. It's like, oh, we're all gonna die. Okay, but you're gonna say that, and then you're gonna end up losing. Like, they haven't done. They should push him like a monster, man. If you don't have Wardlow, and you don't like that, would be the guy that you push as a monster.
And then they got Sammy Guevara and Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Paul Wright was still signed. Paul Wright is still signed with them?
Yeah. Paul White?
Yeah, what is he doing with them? What is
He's
Paul
just
White
there.
doing?
He's just there. He's like a coach. He knows the dynamites and things like that. He's just like a coach.
He's just there. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about AEW, bro. It's just, I mean, at least it brought in some good topic today. I can tell you that much. We got to figure out what they're gonna do. Who's wrestling tomorrow in AEW?
Hold on a minute. I retweeted that earlier.
I want to see what are they doing tomorrow, because it should be interesting what they're doing tomorrow. John Mox is gonna be live. Oh look, they actually reposted something of Anna Jay. Speak of the devil. There's nothing else. You got Bryan Danielson. Apparently, Bryan Danielson is gonna talk. It says, okay, so here we go. How would you spend a year?
All right. John Moxley appears. You've got a tag team casino gauntlet match for a shot at the AEW tag team titles at Grand Slam. And then the AEW women's champion Mariah May will take on Queen Aminata. That's who it was. In an eliminator match. Not for the title. She's got to beat her not once, but twice.
Wow. Oh, man.
I am getting a little bit tired of the casino gauntlet thing. I'm not going to lie to you, though, bro. Like, I feel like every other week that's a match.
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a little bit
But I also feel like they have to put a gimmick on everything. Everything's got to have a gimmick to it, and that's where I think it's just not storytelling, because you have to make every match like a gauntlet match, because now they get a tag team title shot. The reason you do that is because you don't have the storylines to build up to get the tag team titles. So, but I did enjoy the pay-per-view. Not gonna lie to you. Hopefully they keep up the momentum. I thought they did a good All Out, a good Dynamite, actually a couple good Dynamites. All In was good. Now can they keep it going? I'm not talking about the murder and all the drug usage. I'm not talking all that stuff. But I mean, overall, the in-ring stuff I liked.
Or are them using the same guys to wrestle on Friday and then wrestle again on Saturday?
The 8-man all-star tag team. They should have done it. Buy one ticket, get one free or something.
And no wonder that Friday show was freaking dead.
And the other thing too is, as soon as the main event ended on that 8-man tag ended, they did Rampage live, and people were just leaving.
Yeah, nobody stayed for Collision.
Oh, no Rampage. Collision was first.
Oh, Collision was first.
Yeah, they did 2 hours Collision, and then Rampage was right after. And people were just leaving.
Wow. Whoa. Sorry.
It's a long day, man. You know how long those shows go? They're like,
That's another thing, man. They go like for hours.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right, man. Let them know where they can get you.
You guys can follow me at Frankie Fresco on YouTube and on X and on Instagram under Fresco Music as well. And I want to give a big shout out to Colombia, baby. We won. We finally beat Argentina. God damn it. Screw you, Argentina. We won. We beat you guys in World Cup qualifier. So proud of my country. Let's go, Colombia.
You had to wait till
2-1.
Messi wasn't there anymore, huh?
It doesn't matter. A win is a win. L, you take that L, Argentina. We'll be talking about, let me talk to you tomorrow. We'll be having a guest. Hopefully, we're going to be talking about the whole situation with Tyreek Hill, our perspective about it. And we'll be talking about the park and ride. So me and my brother went to the game on Sunday, and we used the park and ride. I have videos, and I want to give you guys an experience as to what you can expect if you do the park and ride. So I'm actually doing the park and ride again on Thursday. So I'm gonna give you a complete breakdown of what it entitles, how it works, how it looks, the wait time. Kind of like, are they disorganized, are they organized? And then we'll preview Buffalo Bills against the Miami Dolphins. And we'll also do a quick recap of, obviously, the Jacksonville Jaguar game against the Dolphins. So we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the Dolphins. We'll also talk and follow up and preview the UFC match that's happening this upcoming weekend. It should be good. It's going to be at the Sphere, where nobody is purchasing tickets because it costs an arm and a leg. And then finally, we'll talk, of course, some soccer. We'll talk about Colombia, baby, with that big win over Argentina earlier today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, the women's under 20 team plays for Colombia. It's going to be during the show as well. So me and my brother might be also kind of like dozing off watching the game while we're doing the show. But it should be fun. 8 o'clock, Let Me Talk to You podcast, me and my brother, DiTrapio.
Oh, added to Dynamite tomorrow night. Ricochet versus Sammy Guevara.
All right. The only bad thing is that Sammy is the Ring of Honor champion. One of the Ring of
Honor tag team champion.
Oh, he's a tag team champion?
Yeah, with Dustin. Dustin is tag team and trios. He can't win anything on his own, but when he teams up, he's great.
He has 2 belts.
Two belts. 2 belts, Dustin.
And then notice that because I'll be surprised that if Sammy beats Ricochet. See, that's something you would put on a pay-per-view. Why would you put it on a Dynamite? Sammy can hang. Sammy throws himself all around, and Ricochet's probably gonna go and do his thing. That's a great match to put on a pay-per-view, but you're putting it on a Dynamite. Sucks.
Wow, I'm gonna have to watch NXT, man. This is badass stuff.
Now, I know we're ending the show, but CW, man.
Yep.
Is that free or do you have to buy? You have to pay for that.
It's free.
Where is it free? What channel is it?
CW is, hold on a minute. Let me see.
Because on my DirecTV, it said if I wanted CW, I had to upgrade my package.
Oh, now I don't know about those. I get CW for free on Hulu.
Also, Hulu gives it.
Yeah.
I might have to register for Hulu because I just got an offer for Hulu for $3 for the next 6 months. So I might just do Hulu.
But now you gotta remember there's Hulu and Hulu Live.
Can you record stuff on Hulu Live or no?
Yeah. That's what I got. I don't have cable anymore.
No doubt. How much do you pay for YouTube TV? Is it $80? Because that's what I thought it cost for YouTube TV. $80. Because I might just downgrade on DirecTV and move on and just purchase something else and just have something. $80. Yeah. Is that YouTube TV is so expensive, man.
Yeah.
$80 for YouTube TV, man. That's
Yeah, but I think they also throw other things in there.
it's just pricey, dude. Like I like DirecTV, but the problem, dude, do you know that DirecTV still hasn't figured it out with ESPN? It's crazy.
Well, yeah, because they want more. It's football season, bro. That's the problem you're going to have with ESPN now. They're going to want that money now because it's football season. Then the rest of the year, it's terrible. But and then, all right, so I am at Stanley Media _11 on X, Stanley Media House on IG, Threads, and of course, Stanley Media House Network on YouTube and on Facebook. The pages on Facebook. Please hit them up, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notifications. Myself and also Frankie Fresco page. Check his show out tomorrow. Him and his brother. It is some fun times. And you never know who pops up in the chat and just talks a bunch of crap. Here's a hint. This guy. But in the words of the great Gordon Soley, I want to thank everybody that's been in the chat, actually, real quick. I'm going to get them in there. No doubt, of course, Wilford Joseph, glad to have you back. Dad was in. Terry was in. Cap for Life was in for real quick. Then he had to go do his fantasy draft. DeTrapio, the great DeTrapio, was in as well. And we appreciate everybody that watched us on X. Thank you for spending the last 2 hours with us. And in the words of the great Gordon Soley, so long from the Sunshine State.